Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Wednesday, the 12th of September, comes to you from London. And we start by looking at the dollar as always, just pushing a little bit higher again this morning, but still just a little bit mixed. Really has been flat the last week or so, just running out of steam on this medium-term chart, but still looking bullish. And of course, we're just longer term, just creeping through there. The euro down slightly this morning, and again, just mixed the last week or so. So euro dollar has been showing that sort of flat relationship. Against the yen, the dollar has steadily been increasing, and this long-term chart is really turning bullish for the dollar, and it just shows the sign that dollar strength is slowly creeping up on the markets, and really the yen often is a lead indicator, so we tend to see it happening there first. Sterling looking stronger over the last couple of days. Solid numbers out yesterday in the UK, and also the Brexit backdrop just helping. Down a little bit this morning, but still bullish on the short term. Of course, the medium term has lots of work to do. Against the euro, sterling looking a bit stronger as well, but medium and long term work to do. Against the Swiss franc, we're seeing sterling looking stronger against the Aussie dollar, looking very strong. So Aussie dollar weakness there playing through. So sterling looking very strong there. Bitcoin sitting at $6,200 just really hasn't done much the last week. Just teetering along at this $6,200 level, not looking strong at all. U.S. markets last night we saw up slightly. We saw the S&P 500 index up nearly 0.4% and still bearish below the cloud on the short-term chart. The Nasdaq also still bearish below the cloud, was up 0.8%. The medium and long-term trend still very much intact for the Nasdaq, but short-term we are seeing weakness. And the Dow we're also just seeing it's just struggling a little bit below the cloud. The Russell 2000 index also was up overnight, but very, very slightly. So it wasn't across the board that we saw stocks rise. The S&P future looking better on the short-term chart, and the Nasdaq E-mini also looking better on the short-term chart. Up slightly this morning, but no real heads up as to which way the US will open today. UK market is up this morning, but looking very weak on the charts here. Still sitting at levels we saw back in April, and the mid 250 in the UK also looking at levels we saw back in April, May time. The DAX looking very weak, just heading below the cloud on that medium-term chart. We are seeing signs of further downside weakness, so the DAX actually looking particularly bad. The CAC 40 actually recovering this morning, but also medium-term bearish. Overnight in Asia, we saw Japan down nearly 0.75%. The Hang Seng down 0.5%, just sinking lower, and China just sinking lower as well, down 0.33%. So the Chinese market now actually making new lows that we haven't seen for a few years. So really very worrying there indeed. And we're now just coming to activate these downside targets of some 45% lower, 7% lower on this target, and 8 to 10% lower. And regular watchers will know we've been bears of the Chinese market for most of this year. So looking lower there. Indian market also just selling off a little bit, and the Aussie market was also down just very slightly on that stronger dollar. Brent crude looking stronger this morning, up 0.33%, $79, and really nudging this $80 mark again. So we are seeing some inventory worries there, just pushing the price up. WTI actually up nearly 1%. And Hurricane Florence probably having a little bit of an impact there with a rush on crude supplies in the US market. Looking at US natgas up to $2.84, looking much stronger on the short-term chart as well. Taking a look at gold, sitting at 11.96, just can't stay above this $1,200 mark. So still looking a little bit bearish there on that stronger dollar. Silver just coming off the bottom a bit this morning, but again still looking pretty bearish on all three time frames. US 10-year yield sitting at 2.97%, just nudging that 3% mark again. So looking stronger there. And if we look at the German Bund, it's up this morning, but still looks very bearish on all three time frames. Overnight, we saw tech stocks having quite a big performances. driving that 0.8% rise in the Nasdaq. Apple was up 2.5%, looking good again. Amazon also was up 2.5%, so looking strong there. Apple and Amazon really the stocks at the moment. Google was up 1%, so lagging a little bit there. Facebook recovering slightly, up 1%, but still this chart on Facebook looks very worrying below that 170 level. Microsoft looking a bit stronger, back above the 110 mark. Netflix was up some 3%, so looking at, sorry, 2%, so looking stronger there. And Tesla, really still the odd man out, down another 2%, looking weaker all the time. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.